Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show for Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. As I get right home with you in the afternoon, you may find us on television, Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. You can also find us on the good old radio, the biggest country giant in South Carolina, and probably beyond that, WZLA. And I really love this station. So, guys, thank you so much for welcoming me into your vibe as I get to be associated with you guys, WZLA. You can still find us on all the social media sites there as well. And I'm working on two things right now. I can't tell you, even though I want to. You know how I am. I can't keep a secret, but I can't tell you yet. But anyway, something else is really going to be really good, so we can expand and have more area for you guys as well. But thank you so much for being with us. The reason this show is a success is because of folks like this guy right here. His name is Don Brown. He's an attorney. He's an author. He's a speaker, and also candidate for U.S. Senate. So good to be with you again, Don. How are you doing?
Great, Don. Happy New Year. But the reason this show is a success is because of you and Phil working the backgrounds. We're just kind of like icing on the cake. But you're the reason it's success, and I'm doing well and grateful to be here.
Well, we're just tickled to have you, Don. A good friend of mine, and so I know what Don stands for. So I'm talking to you folks who might be undecided in North Carolina. This guy's the true deal, and he really cares for the little guy like me. And that's what you're looking for, someone to represent you, the little guy, your small business, your big business. It doesn't matter what. This guy will take care of you. Don, why are you running for office?
Well, Donna, somebody asked me a few weeks back, so why do you want to be a senator? My response was, what makes you think I want to be a senator? We don't want to go into warfare, but we have to do it sometimes. We're at a very crucial juncture in this nation's history. And as I've said on many occasions, within the next 4 to 6 years, there's going to be a battle for the survival of this republic. Not only is Trump going to be leaving office in January of 29 because of the 22nd Amendment, we don't know who will be after that. I think Trump's presence in office has stayed off what would have been a plunge into tyranny already.
Yeah.
But we've got a problem. We're battling the forces of evil. They killed Charlie Kirk. Then they laughed about it. They praised the shooter. You had 207 Democrats just voted in Congress to protect mutilation of children. Sex change, mutilation of children. The evil's on the rise, but also we're battling, and this is crucial, the forces of mathematics. The national debt continues to explode, even under Republican leadership. If we don't reverse it, we're at a crucial situation where we risk losing the dollar as the international currency of trade. If that happens, they're going to push for something called central bank digital currency. And if you thought it was bad during COVID, that was just an experiment with tyranny. You ain't seen nothing yet. So I'm running because we're in a state of emergency. I can see the problem. I can attack the problem. I know how to attack the problem. And very few people are talking about it. There was an interview with Congressman Tim Burchett out of Tennessee. I really like that guy. And I just was watching part of the interview. And he says that every time he brings something like this up on the floor of the House or in an interview, that the Republican leadership comes to him and said, Congressman, you just need to stop talking about that sort of stuff. And Congressman said, why? It's true. You see, we're in largely a uniparty system, and we don't have a lot of time. So I'm running because I want to preserve freedom, and the freedom to worship, freedom of speech, the freedoms that God has given us and is enshrined in our Constitution. And I'm doing it for my kids and grandkids. And at least I'll be able to sleep at night knowing that I tried.
I know. Something, there's also another reason people are leaving North Carolina to come to South Carolina. I know we had the huge discussion with my son this weekend when they came for Christmas. He's living close to the Raleigh area. And he said, Mom, it's just the taxes just keep going up.
Yeah, and that's particularly true when you're looking at North Carolina has big blue cities. South Carolina really doesn't have that. I mean, South Carolina's got Charleston, and that's kind of Democrat. But South Carolina does not have big blue cities like North Carolina does. Like Charlotte, when I left the active duty of the Navy in the early 90s and came to the Charlotte area, working out of Rock Hill, Charlotte had a 6-5 Republican majority, and in the city council and the county commission. Now it's kind of gone to hell in a handbasket. That that brutal video of that murder of that poor Ukrainian girl, Irina, that went viral in the Charlotte light rail is emblematic of what's happened to Charlotte leadership. And so you're seeing what you just mentioned about folks moving to South Carolina. That's especially true. It is especially true from the big metro areas like Charlotte. If you crossed, and of course, if you're a Republican, stay in North Carolina because we need you really bad. You need to move to Union County, because we need your votes bad. But people are doing that because of the overregulation, the taxation, the lack of common sense when it comes to, law enforcement. When this young lady, Irina, was brutally murdered, our campaign, and we were the only Senate campaign to step out. We stepped out and called for the President Trump to bring the National Guard into Charlotte to stabilize the light rail. Just about 2 weeks after that, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Fraternal Order of the Police joined in that request for the president. So that's why you're seeing a lot of this movement into South Carolina and also into other. There's been a lot of movement from Charlotte, for example, into Union County and Gaston County, but a lot of it into York County because of the oppressive municipal governmental situation that's happened. Same thing in Raleigh. It's gotten really bad there. And of course, Durham has been notoriously bad. And so I would like to see the North Carolina General Assembly consider stepping in and just overriding, under the North Carolina Constitution and under state law, the General Assembly can step in and dissolve some of these governments and at least do it temporarily until stability is restored. I think we're getting to the point we need to consider that. But this is what happens when Democrats take control and try to govern and overgovern and regulate and overregulate and tax, and they will disguise taxes under other names like storm water fee or whatever it might be, this fee, that fee. But they're all, anytime the government takes your money, that's a tax. And that's the reason South Carolina is benefiting from that. The other thing, South Carolina does not have the additional tax at the pump that North Carolina does. So when I cross the border from South Carolina and from North Carolina to South Carolina, I should say, I'll save at least 25%, just 25 cents, I should say, crossing the border because of the higher tax regulation at the pump in North Carolina. And so that's one of the effects. And hopefully the North Carolina General Assembly will take care of this tax pump situation. But it has to do with large Democrat cities to a large degree. And they're bad news, and they're bad news all over the country. And wherever you see Democrats running these big cities, and unfortunately, Charlotte has become one, you see the same situation: a loss of control, rise in crime, and just a deterioration in the quality of life.
Well, I wanted to talk to my Charlotte friends, okay, because I lived there for a really long time, like 9 years, and I saw a transition. Now, we were living there also under the, would you call it, leadership of Barack Obama. This is when he was president. Okay, so there was one day, it was a nice, clear day. It was a beautiful day. And so my mother called from Alabama. Alabama is known as Tornado Alley. And so she called, and she said, "You better take cover." And I said, "From what?" And she said, "From the tornado warnings that are out in Charlotte." And I said, "There are no tornado warnings. It's a clear day." Well, to prove it to her, I had to take pictures and send them to her through text. And she said, "No, that's what they're saying on the news right now." They were at the doctor's office, and she said, "It's on CNN right now. They're showing tornado warnings that are telling everybody to take cover and all this kind of stuff." And I said, "That's a lie." I said, "Oh, that's not true at all." So what it was, they were having the Democrat convention that day, and they had rented out the Panthers Stadium. Well, they didn't have enough people coming, so they didn't want it to look sparse. So they invented this idea. This is lies now from you Democrats, okay? So they invented this lie that we were having really bad weather. That's why they had to change from the Panther Stadium, because it's outdoors, into the Cricket Stadium, which is actually a lot smaller. So it would make them look like they had a bigger crowd. They lost $1 million deposit because of this as well. So are these the kind of people you really want leading you? And I'm not only talking Democrats, I'm talking about rhinos. Okay, Don Brown is not a rhino. I'm just telling you that from the start. Okay, so you do not want Democrats running your town, guys, your city. You also don't want rhinos running it. That's why your clear vision right here is Don Brown.
Thank you, Donna. Well, Listen, a couple of things. I would also throw into that group the Democrats, rhinos. I throw in the leftist media. That the leftist media does not want me in the U.S. Senate. They try to ignore my campaign at the national level. They try to act like there's a coordination already between their desired candidate and what they did to us in COVID should, as I've said to you and others, I was involved in very active federal litigation against a dangerous and unconstitutional jab that Fauci and others pushed, and discovered that the death rates in a 10-month period of the COVID jabs from January to October of 21, there were more deaths reported from the 3 COVID jabs in a 10-month period than from every other vaccine combined over 30 years. And the media hid that. In fact, they not only they hide it, they kept pushing the lie that it's safe and effective. And so the media is the left-wing media has become a tool of the Democrat Party and a tool of establishment Republicanism as well. And there is a gray, fuzzy line there between Democrats and establishment Republicanism, and it's frustrating. But the people, we want something different from what they, the government, they, the establishment, are trying to ram down our throats, and we're gonna make them pay.
Absolutely. Now it's already time to go into a commercial break. Let's go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there, okay?
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always a fun ride. Wanted to thank some of our new sponsors for coming on with us at the Anderson Mall in Anderson, South Carolina, the Jeweler's Touch. Let me tell you about the Jeweler's Touch. They can redo if you have a ring, maybe some diamonds need to be replaced, or maybe you broke something. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a ring to the Jeweler's Touch tomorrow. And this is a black pearl ring my grandmother gave me a long time ago, and I was like 12 years old when she gave this to me, and for some dumb reason I got a pair of pliers and I cut the ring. Who knows why I did that, 12 years old. So anyway, I'm going to take it to them. They're going to fix it for me. So I'm really excited to have them on as a sponsor as well. Also wanted to thank, again, they're located in the Anderson Mall. This is a Adam Naturals and Cafe. Everybody knows I'm into natural products, everything. Beauty from the inside out is what she says. So you need to check Jackie out. And she knows her stuff. She manufactures her own stuff. As a matter of fact, she's going to be buying some of my herbs to go into her store to make some of her wonderful salves and things. So anyway, I'm excited about that. Murowski of the Mall is another great one. By the way, they pile the plate full of food. You will be asking for a bag to take food home. So they're right there at the mall. You can go on the outside if you don't have time to go inside the mall. But if you're in the mall anyway, there's an inside entrance there as well. Now, Dawn's going to love the name of this one. And this business is called Kiss My Glass. And yeah, when I went in to talk to Elizabeth, I said, okay, I just got to say this. I love the name. I said, I'll never forget this one. And she said, yeah, she said, they do some stained glass and stuff like that. And she also does one-of-a-kind products. And so if you have something you would like to have your name put on it, any kind of unique items, it's not like going to a big, store that, it's going to be like assembly line products. Everything is different. So go ahead and check Elizabeth out. You'll be glad you did. Really nice, kind lady too. But anyway, I'm So grateful to have all these new sponsors and appreciate that. So make sure you check out the Anderson Mall. Don Brown is with me, and one of my friends, and Don is the guy you need to vote for, U.S. Senate, North Carolina. And you don't even have to do this. I mean, you've got a successful business. So we talked about why you're doing this, but I wanted to ask you another question. You and I have successful businesses. We even had successful businesses under the former leadership of U.S. presidency. And now it's doing even better with Donald Trump in. And so why are there so many people saying the business is bad when actually the climate is great?
The truth has never mattered to the left. It's never mattered to the leftist media, and they have to have a narrative. So they're trying to construct this narrative. And let's just look at the truthful situation. The truth is that one of the things that was killing us the worst during the Biden years is fuel prices, $3 or $4 a gallon. As I mentioned to you in another segment, I've heard reports. We're in the Charlotte area here in North Carolina, which sits on the South Carolina border. I'm 3 miles from the state line right now, and was in South Carolina just about all last night, as a matter of fact, with some friends. And you cross the border, and we've heard reports of gas below $2 in South Carolina. I bought, using my Harris Teeter discount, I filled my car for $1.44 yesterday. Now it was a $2.44, but I had a $1 discount, $1.44. But even still, the fact of the matter is, gasoline prices have dropped tremendously. We've also seen some grocery prices drop. Biden killed all the chickens and eggs with $10 a carton or whatever. They've come down, and so the job market is very good. People can get jobs if they want to work. Is there room for improvement? There's always room for improvement, and a lot of that is going to require continued deregulation. The economy is on the right track, but it's considerably better than it was during the Biden years. And every time you go to the gas, I would say anybody that's wondering, yeah, we want to see grocery prices down, no question, but grocery prices under Biden were higher. And if you wonder whether were better off than you were 2 years ago, ask yourself that every time you go to the gas pump and fill up. Are you better off now than you were 2 years ago? So it goes to the Democrats' need to create a narrative and blow fuel in the fire to the narrative. And let's just ask this question. Let's assume they were right. The economy, we're doing bad, assume they're right, which they're not. I mean, what is their solution? Their solution is always more government, more regulation, more taxation. Their solutions are solutions that kill the economy to begin with. They set a fire and throw gasoline on the fire and blame somebody else on it. And so the only solution always for an improved government is freedom. And that means free competition, free markets. And that means, like President Reagan said, getting the government off the backs of the people. That means deregulating. We still have some ways to go with deregulation. We still have to continue to cut the deep state. But for the notion that the economy is in the tankers is a huge exaggeration at this point. And we're seeing very good signs by the time the midterms roll around. It's going to be even better, in my opinion, for the good guys. Things are going to get even better and better. And I just saw that home ownership is beginning to pick up just a little bit. We're seeing good signs all across the board. And it's because of the deregulatory impact. When Trump came in and executed deregulation principles the first time, the economy boomed. Now bear in mind, he's now been in office from January to December. This is 11 months. And we've seen gas prices drop. We've seen more affordability at the pumps. And we've seen the effect of deregulation. When Reagan came in 1981, it took about 48 months or a little less than that for the economy to really start to boom after all the damage that Carter had done to the economy. So we're seeing a turnaround much, much faster, under Trump coming in 2024 than we saw in Reagan coming in, I should say 2025. He was just sworn in this year, but then we saw Reagan coming in 1981. And so I think it's going to get better and better. So I'm very, very optimistic.
Let's talk a little bit about farming, and I'm talking about fisheries out there right now, because we're getting fish from other countries, which makes me a bit nervous. That's why we fish our own stuff. We'll find a good fishing hole, and there you go. But I'm nervous about buying anything that comes from overseas, and I don't know. There is so much coastal area with North Carolina. I mean, why are we not using that?
Well, Donna, you raised a very good point. It's a point that I've been all over in terms of what's happening here in the eastern part of our great state where I grew up in coastal North Carolina. Now, let me just start with a premise that food security is national security. You know, if they have their way and destroy small farms and small fishermen and small meat processors and force us into a situation where you've got to import, then that impinges on our freedom. In eastern North Carolina, we had certain, rhino senators try to actually kill, and I'm talking about in the state General Assembly, kill the North Carolina commercial shrimping industry. And these folks, these families, have been shrimping now for 200 years, providing food locally. The Democrats have gone crazy in the North. See, part of the problem is North Carolina's had Republicans everywhere except in the governor's mansion. We've only had 3 in my lifetime, and these governors get in and they put these bureaucrats in, and they have a thing called North Carolina Fisheries Commission. It used to be that I could catch all the herring I wanted, all the rockfish I wanted, you name it. Fishing was something that was part of the culture, and now you can't even. I was talking to the mayor of Jamesville, North Carolina yesterday. They have a large herring festival on Easter Monday. The herring used to run up the Roanoke River, and they catch millions of them in a net. Now we can't even catch them locally. After the shrimpers attempted, or the rhinos attempted to shut down the shrimping industry in eastern North Carolina, and I'm taking a stand and calling for federal protection for those folks. Within 2 months of that, there was a report of tons of radioactive shrimp coming in from Indonesia. Right. And it's a dangerous situation. I think we've got to move to protect small farmers, small fishermen. I think we've got to reopen our natural resources, and I think we've got to block this dangerous importation of food from overseas. It's something we don't need. We've got the ability to raise and eat everything we need to eat here in the United States. We should not be dependent on foreigners for that. And so I'm going to work to protect our shrimpers and to protect, to try to block some of this massive importation of foreign seafood and shrimp and other items that I think not only can be an immediate danger because of just like the radioactive stuff we just talked about, but also from the long term, we can't get in a situation where we're dependent on importing food from foreign countries. Our national survival depends on our ability to be able to feed ourselves.
Well, I'm just a regular walking around gum chewing American, and I'm just telling you that makes absolutely no sense to me at all not to use our own resources that we have here. Why not enrich our own citizens? People who are United States citizens. We got to go. I can't believe this. Don Brown is with me. Don, how can folks donate? And also, if folks would like to volunteer for you, how can they do that?
Well, the easiest way is to go to our website. That is Brown4NC, Brown, BROWN, FORNC, like North Carolina, Brown4NC.com. You can go on there and click a donate button, click a couple of buttons, and send us some money. We need all the help we can get. We are fighting a very powerful and moneyed Republican establishment that wants the status quo, which will lead us off the cliff. So we need help, and we also need help. In terms of volunteers, not just in North Carolina, we'll take volunteers from anywhere because, this is going to be a social media campaign and a campaign in areas that we're going to operate in, like email and things like this. So we'll take help from anywhere in the country. But if you're in North Carolina, please contact us. If you can help us with a $50 donation, 100, whatever you can do, help us, brown4nc.com. So we appreciate the opportunity to interact with voters and for the opportunity to get our message across.
Absolutely. Don, thank you again so much for being on the show. And thank you guys so much for watching. We definitely appreciate that. We have the best sponsors and the best guests, absolutely, and the best watchers and listeners as well. Continue sending email, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. Have a great day. See you next time.
Thank you, Donna.